5.5 is prime and composite numbers. And this is pretty easy if you know your basic facts. So prime numbers, prime numbers are going to be numbers that only have one factor pair. And that one factor pair is going to be 1 times that number. A lot of times the way we kind of think about this, the way we talk about it is if you order a prime rib steak, it's going to be number 1. We think, oh, it's going to be really good. There's 1 and it's the top. So we think there's 1 factor pair. It's 1 times itself. That's just our little trick to remember it. Composite numbers are going to be numbers that are greater than 1. That also applies to prime numbers. But they have more than 2 factors. Or more than 1 factor pair. So what we're going to be thinking as we look at numbers and determine if they're prime or composite, think what times what gets me that. So I'm thinking, what factors are there? For example, let's look at 14. So 14, if I need to decide if it's prime or composite, first of all, I'm thinking, okay, what times what gets me 14? I know I can do 1 and 14. That would be that 1 in itself. Can I do anything else and can I multiply any other 2 numbers and get 14? Well, I know I could do 2 and 7. Can I do anything else? Nope, but that's okay because I have 2 factor pairs. I have more than 2 factors of 1, 2, 3, 4 factor pairs. So I know that 14 is a composite number. Now let's look at 13. What can I do to multiply and get 13? I know I can do 1 and 13. Can I do anything else and get 13? Can I do 2 times something, 3 times something, 4 times something? Nope. The only way I can get to 13 by multiplying is to do 1 times 13, or 1 times itself. So that means that this number is a prime number. Now, a lot of times kids will say, well, if it's odd, it has to be prime. That's not necessarily true. Now, it does mean that any number that's even will be composite. I could do 64, 66, 68. All those I know are going to be composite because we have our divisibility rule that we talked about in an earlier section. However, 2 is going to be prime because the only way I can get there is 1 times itself. So really, any even number after 2 will be composite. But back to odd numbers, if I have a number like 15, I can do 1 and 15. Can I do anything else? Can I do 2? No, but I could do 3. I could do 3 and 5. So that would make it a composite number. So a lot of times we've just got to be careful. Just because it's odd doesn't necessarily mean that it is a prime number. We still want to use those divisibility rules to help us.